Good morning, audience. Welcome to Expose. I have a really good guest here today. My name is Pastor Michelle Smalls, and I have a good guest called, his name is Mr. Alex Higgins with me today. We're going to have a very good topic, and the topic is about exact quote test from the United States Constitution. So he's going to explain a little bit to us and the world about what this means. Introduce yourself.
Well,
Tell the people about yourself.
thank you, Pastor Small, for having me on the show.
Glad
This is
for you to be here.
exact quotes test, United States Constitution. This is a standardized test that I've worked on. It's a standardized test that is meant to be standardized for all government institutions, whether they be for high school students, public high school students, college students, high-ranking military officers, the Coast Guard, the DMV down the road, or any of your state agencies. So this is meant to be a standardized test for the United States of America. It's meant to be a positive social unifier is what this test is meant to be. And it's also a course. In this course, it has 110 multiple choice questions plus a glossary of terms. I wrote this course as a objective way of teaching the U.S. Constitution and teaching the rules of the United States of America to everyone. That way, everyone's on equal footing. This is not a course where it preaches that the United States Constitution is totally morally good or totally morally bad, or it's not a course as to whether or not the Founding Fathers were totally good or totally bad or any of that stuff. This is just the exact words of the Constitution. People want to get into interpretations and things like that about the Constitution, but a lot of people using the word constitutional and saying that you need to read all this history to understand the Constitution, I often find they have never read the Constitution in their lives. What this does is this teaches the exact words of the Constitution. That's something that we can all agree upon, and if interpretation is to start about the Constitution, it should start with the exact words of the Constitution and not interpretations of interpretations, or it shouldn't start with pro-right or pro-left propaganda. Okay? The exact words of the Constitution, and it goes out to all state agencies, and it's for, it would be the same test for people in Florida or California or Alaska or at home here in South Carolina.
Okay. Sounds good. All that. I hope y'all getting that down, because this is interesting. Word is very interesting, and we're going to get into our questions. What I'm going to say, okay, what made you come up with this? What made you to do this? You know.
Well, I do manual labor a lot. I do construction. It's a rare thing for U.S. citizens to do these days. I might be the last one left these days, but I thought of this on a construction site with a friend a few years ago, but then I saw a lot of the riots going on. And there's lots of chaos between various subcultures of people here in the United States. So we could have an immigrant from Israel over here, and then we could have a recent immigrant from Palestine over here.
Yes.
Okay? And then we have a white country boy, and then we have a transgender person, and all this type of stuff. How do we all get along? Okay? So we all need to know the laws of the land. Okay? I'm not saying that they're all perfect or anything like that.
Right.
But that kind of gives us all equal footing to have access to the government and make use of the government and make the government do what we want to do. We do want the government to do, if we are U.S. citizens, we do want the government to act according to the preamble of the U.S. Constitution.
Exactly. Okay. Okay. How long have you been doing this? Some of the questions I'm going through, I'm kind of skipping a little bit of it. But how long have you been actually doing this? I mean, it sounds very interesting, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of studies and a lot of prayers and concentration. So how long have you been doing this business? And just explain to the audience, how long have you been doing this? I know you said it before, but get some more insight.
Well, my father, he was a philosophy professor, and he did all kinds of writing and stuff like that. He did speeches at Princeton, New Jersey, and Dartmouth and various big name
Oh,
universities.
wow. Yes. Yes.
And he got me into philosophy and writing and stuff like that. And that's just something I've always done in
Mm-hmm.
my spare time. I've tried to read all the real hard books.
All right.
Even the Bible. I'm guilty of not reading all of the Bible, though. I will say that. I do
Well,
read as
take
much of
time.
it as I can, though.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing the exact quotes test for about 6 months now,
Okay.
just writing this. And this is an unproved draft right now. This is just a demonstration copy. But
Mm-hmm.
if someone were to read this, they would
Right.
get a good idea as to what the exact quotes test is
Okay.
about. This is an unproved draft right here, and I hope to have this on the market in about 6 months from now.
Okay. So when you do write your book, trust me, I would like for you to come back on the show and you can show your book and everything. Um, would well, some of the questions basically gonna be almost the same, but what inspired you to do this and try to help the United States with this? Because I know you said a lot of people doesn't really know their Constitution, they doesn't really know their preamble. That we learned in school. We learned the preamble in school, and if you can quote that, that's something very important. So, what inspired you to want to help everyone or help the world? Because this is a good example of what you're doing, Alexander Higgins. I like that name too. But what inspired you to just want to help? Get it out there. And if you're going to do any more books besides this one here.
Well, first off, actually, I'm holding 2 books right here.
Okay.
But anyways, one of the things is this is practical and it's achievable for people.
Right.
Okay, so one thing that inspired me to do this is my entire family. They're
Mm-hmm.
all military. Both grandparents, World War II, fathers, uncles,
Wow.
enlisted for the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
I served in the Coast Guard, but again, I saw a lot of bad stuff happening in the country, and I don't like people to do propaganda or anything like that, and I want this to be a stoppage to propaganda in institutions, whether it be far right propaganda or far left propaganda. And I just wanted to create something that improves the country, and it's something that people can use at their local city council, for instance.
Okay.
So Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution, for instance, and there's a question in here about this.
Mm-hmm.
It covers each and every single word of the Constitution relatively quickly in this small course. Okay, there are actually 4 constitutions in here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is achievable for anyone. It's achievable for a janitor, a high-ranking military officer,
Right.
somebody who has to work, 50, 60 hours a week.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
a lot. Mm-hmm.
And I want to get a lot of people want to see the country get on constitutional track. That'd just be easiest if we had one way of communicating the laws.
I agree. Okay. Wow, this is really good. This is really good. Tell all the people, all the places you have traveled, because I know you would tell in the back in the back waiting room. But tell the people all the places you've been traveling. People's going to be so excited to hear this.
Well, when I was a federal law enforcement officer in the Coast Guard, I patrolled the Straits of Florida, and then I patrolled off the coast of South and Central America, and then I was up in the Bering Sea as well. I traveled to Colombia, Ecuador,
Oh, wow.
Peru, Costa Rica, they say El Salvador already.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much all of Central America I've been to, Mexico and Aruba, Puerto Rico, Cuba,
Wow.
Jamaica, and various other places doing different types of missions in the Coast Guard, ranging from counter narcotics to immigration to search and rescue.
Oh, okay, wow. You have a fulfilled life. Wow. So it was like a dream to help, a vision. Because you can tell this is your vision.
Well, yeah, obviously I'd like this to grow really large, but it just seemed practical to me, okay? And it seemed practical to me, and then practical to people that would invest in this and buy it.
Okay.
And so it was like a dream mixed with practicality.
Okay. But you know what? With this right here, that would be a good thing to get a business into this and helping, like, getting a building or something, and start this from scratch. That would be an example, because this is really good work. What you're doing in your book. I mean, your book is, people needs to buy it. This is something. Can I hold it?
Sure can.
Just want to hold this book right here. This is really good. If you're watching, this book here tells about your whole constitutional, that a lot of people don't know, that you might want to know. Look at this. You might want to take the chance and just purchase when it does come out, because it's going to come out soon. This is just like a flat page, but it's going to be a hard book. Yes, you're going to do it as a hard book, or
I just might make it that way.
just keep
That
it
way
like
it's
this.
more affordable to
Okay.
schools.
This is really nice. Look, this is really nice. So when this book comes out, remember, his name is Alex Higgins. He wrote this book himself, and it said, exact quote test, United States Constitution. Please, if you're watching this, he's one of my good guests, first time, and it won't be his last. Y'all help sponsor and help promote his book, because he wants to get it out here, and he's trying to help the world, and he's doing a wonderful job. In between, I just want to thank my guest. I want to thank my guests, but we're not finished yet. But I just want to thank Daryl, Ray, and Paul. But Daryl is the CEO here at To Expose. That's what the show calls, To Expose You. And he's been doing this for a long time. And I just want to thank God for him giving me this opportunity to be a host over the years as a coming back. And I just want to, I just have to just thank, give prompt what prompt is due. And I thank God for my guest here, Mr. Alexander Higgins. It won't be his last time here. He will be coming back on. Trust me. So
Yes.
look at his face.
All right.
He's going to be one of my
I'm
one
excited.
of my regular guests. But I want to introduce my husband. He's off the air. But my husband, Elder John Smalls. Most of you probably know him too. He's a singer. He's the lead singer of the Mighty Russian Wind as well. But this time is strictly for Alex Higgins, and he's a great guest. Is there anything else you want to tell them, how they can get in touch with you, or your email? Like you trying to sponsor this as well, and just tell them about yourself, like far as how to get in touch with you.
Right. Well, right now there's a Facebook page, the Exact Quotes Test, United States Constitution.
Yeah.
And you want to go to the Exact Quotes Test, United States Constitution Facebook page, and in there's all kinds of information up there. There's definitions of terms. There's different things about laws. So people ask, what exactly is militia? So I use various quotes from the laws presently on the books, and then I use stuff from the Militia Act of 1792, for instance. That stuff's up there. What is a natural-born citizen? That stuff is up on the Facebook page. There's all kinds of good information up there, and you can personally message me there if you like, or you can share the page and spread it all around, because I think the Exact Quotes Test is a great idea, but I could be biased in my appraisal there for some reason.
Okay. Yes, we still got a little more time. The air. 5 more minutes. Wow. Okay. If anybody wants to do what you do, want to be a part, like helping you, how do they go about it? How would they go about it?
Well, I could use editors for this book, and I don't necessarily want to go through the standard means of using a mainstream publisher.
Mm-hmm.
I would be looking for actually owners rather than employees for
Right.
this. So that way they kind of have skin in the game, and I'd want people that want to help the United States and America. They believe in objective education,
Right.
and they believe this project, and they can really see the project through. So I'm kind of looking for investors right now at this point rather than employees, and people that might have skills that I don't have as far as promotion, or they might have, just, they might have something to bring to the table, so to speak. But they also have to have skin in the game. They got to want to do this.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Now, can I help out a little bit?
Sure can.
If you're an investor out here, anyone who's watching, if you're an investor, he will love for someone that's very smart, that will love you, that see his vision to help. If you're an investor, please invest in this book. He already gave you the information. He might give it to you again off the air, on the air before we close out. But investors, we're looking for investors to help with this book. And the reason I'm constantly repeating, because he's a great author, and he needs help getting this book out. Please. Any more time? 2 more? Well, just finish up. Go ahead and finish up what's on your mind now that you want to do for the 2 minutes.
Well, I'd like to talk about how this can improve political change. One time I've just brought up the preamble to the Constitution. There should be certain things that are known. Right now, the federal government says that the preamble to the Constitution is not a binding law. Now, I'm not really sure what to make of that statement, but I would say that the preamble to the Constitution is in fact binding, or it's boundary setting, in other words. So you can't go against the American people, okay? That's one thing that the preamble does do, and I think most would agree with that. And I think this would just help everyone learn the laws of the United States of America. I've also brought up laws from the Constitution to speak at city council meetings, and if you do that, if you use the Constitution when you speak at city council meetings, you sound a lot better. You're more than just an angry mobster who's angry about something. You have a lot more force behind your words if you do things like that, if you do learn the U.S. Constitution. So that's why I would do this, to create positive change.
And that's for people to actually learn their rights. Because
Absolutely.
A lot of people
Yes, the Bill of Rights
does not know their rights of law, what is due to them. And you know, like if some people get into trouble, or someone who's not in trouble and they don't know their rights, that's going to be a big problem. So that's why Alex is trying to tell everyone, know your rights. And this book tells how to know your rights. The Constitution is your whole life around the world. Right. Your whole life, you know.
Right.
I'm going to let him put some more insight.
I would just like to say this. There has been one thing from the Constitution. I've actually used the First Amendment before to extract a certain sum of money from the government for wrongs that were done to me before. Mm-hmm. So that's just one instance. And there are lots and lots of things in here besides the First Amendment. So it's helped me out in a practical manner. Did I go to court for it? No, but I kind of did it through the media and using the principles from the First Amendment, and I kind of settled out of court. So that has helped me out before in real life. So there's lots and lots of stuff in here that can help people out in real life.
Okay. That is, wow. This is like really great show. So so I just want to thank my guest again, Mr. Alexander Higgins, but I'm calling him Alex. And this is his book again, and he's trying to get it out there. Any investors that wants to participate in helping him sponsor or however, donate or whatever you want to do once you've seen this segment. And I just want to thank the CEO, Daryl Goodman and Ray Harvey. I want to thank them both for having me here and to be a part of the show, as always. But we're going to go on this note that anyone, you know, that wants to learn the Constitution, just get in touch with him, and it won't be his last being here on my ear. It won't be his last. But until we meet again, God bless you. And I'm Pastor Michelle Smalls, and you can contact me at 843-270-7519, and my Gmail is michellesmalls2019@gmail.com. So I am the pastor of Restoration Holiness Church.
But right now, my vision is to help bring other people's vision in fact into the world where everybody can see. If you have a career or you have any kind of project that you want to get out there, or you have a vision, that my number, you can contact me, and I'm quite sure Mr. Darrell Goodman will allow me to interview you when it's convenient time for him. So my number is 843-270-7519. I'm Pastor Michelle Smalls. This is Alexander Higgins. So get used to his face. He'll be here on the show. God bless you.
Yes.
And bye-bye.
God bless.